Oh, the drama, the entertainment. You want drama? You want entertainment? Hey, our next guest had a front row seat for 8 years in the White House. Melinda Bates joins us this morning. She actually ran the White House visitor's office.
That's right.
And I understand the only person to ever work a full 8 years through a full administration in that capacity.
I made history.
Is it just that difficult a job that most people can't? They just can't do it for 8 years?
Most people last about 18 months at the White House. The workload is staggering. The pressure is immense. There's zero tolerance for error because, of course, if you make a mistake, it's not you who made the mistake, it's the president's mistake.
So that's an interesting part about working in an administration is you do work for the president directly. So you do all this work, and then the president steps in and, ta-da, takes the credit, but that's the way it has to be.
That's exactly as it should be. That's just how it should be. It's just such an honor to be there under any circumstance at all.
So 8 years in the Clinton administration. Nice man?
He's a lovely man. But, of course, I've known him since the first week of freshman year at Georgetown when a tall, skinny kid walked up to me, stuck out his hand and said, "Hi, I'm Bill Clinton. I'm running for freshman class president."
He worked the twang out a little bit. You know, no matter what people think about the politics on one side or the other, everybody always says the same thing about Bill Clinton. They say one of the nicest, warmest individuals that they've ever met, especially when you get him one-on-one.
Exactly. And
so he's very good with guests in the White House.
He's extraordinary with guests, and so the Clintons understood that very well, and so their guests were not only people who already liked them and supported them, but they used the White House, as I think the Obamas will use the White House, to charm, essentially, people who they would like to have support them, whether it's on their legislative agenda or some other way.
So how does it work when somebody wants to be a guest at the White House, or the President or the First Lady wants somebody to be a guest? They come to you and they say, what, set it up?
Well, my office actually worked on tours rather than dinners, for example. But
Okay.
we also did the larger special events like the annual Easter egg roll. So 30,000 people on the South Lawn on Easter Monday, that was me.
That was you. Well, we've got some shots here of what's going on at the White House right now, like the Stevie Wonder event and so forth. Did you get a chance to do things with celebrities and so forth?
Absolutely. That was how I spent my afternoons mostly. I started in the morning reading the style section of the Post to figure out which celebrities were in town that day, because I could be pretty sure I'd get a call from the Oval Office or from Hillary Land saying, "Melinda, the president just met with so-and-so," or "Melinda, Hillary just had tea with the Queen of Sweden. Would you please walk her around the state floor? She'd like to see the house." That's how I spent my days. It was fabulous.
Favorite guests?
Well, I really liked it when the Grateful Dead came.
Oh, wow, really?
And they came on the same day as the Queen of Sweden, which kind of gives you an idea of the range of guests who come to the White House.
You have to stay loose, yeah.
You have to stay very loose. And Tom Selleck came. We spent an afternoon together, and I have to say he is the handsomest man on the planet. Oh, my gosh.
Well, now, here you are with Hillary. Oh, here you are with Dan Aykroyd and Robin Williams. Oh, that's got to be an entertaining day.
I took Robin Williams to lunch, and it was like being in the center of a tornado. Just his mind goes all the time. It was incredible.
Yeah, they say he's unbelievably creative, but his mind never rests.
Never rests. I don't know how he ever sleeps.
Now, you never slept in that job, though. I've known folks that have worked in various administrations, and they're up before the president. They go to sleep after the president, and the president doesn't get a whole lot of extra sleep.
That's right. Presidents normally are men, or at some point, I hope, a woman, who don't need a lot of sleep and are able to think fast and go on whatever the moment presents, because there's only so much you can anticipate. The world is moving along and throwing things at you all the time. So,
is it an insulated environment? I mean, at some point after you're there, for example, you were there 8 years, the Clintons were there 8 years. At some point, is it hard to keep touch with the outside world?
I think that wise presidents make sure that there's a way for their friends from their real life to keep in touch with them, and they make for themselves opportunities to get out of the White House. Hillary, for example, used to put on a hat and sunglasses and a coat and go for a walk. There'd be a Secret Service agent trailing behind her, but nobody ever knew who she was, and occasionally a tourist would stop her and say, "Would you mind taking a picture of us with our camera with the White House behind us?" Having no idea that it was the First Lady taking the snap. So
oh, my
that was
gosh.
Fun. Yeah.
How fun is that? You wrote this wonderful book. It's Clintonista, so you are a Clintonista.
I am.
You take that as a compliment.
I do.
Okay. That term has been tossed around in various labels, in various forms, but you take it in a very lighthearted way.
I'm very proud to be a Clintonista. It was a hell of a ride, as he said to me on the last day in the Oval Office.
So if we pick up a copy of Clintonista, what's our favorite thing, your favorite moment out of there?
Oh, my favorite moment would... I guess when the Grateful Dead came and Jerry Garcia, I introduced him to the Secret Service officer, and I'm not a Deadhead, so I couldn't say I love your music, but I did say I love your ties.
I love your ties. I was always convinced that he was personally involved in designing those ties.
And then the Secret Service officer said, and I love your ice cream, and Jerry laughed and said, well, of course I had nothing to do with it, but the day they produced it was the happiest day in my lawyer's life.
All right, Melinda Bates, thank you so much for coming in. The book is Clintonista, full of just great stories and anecdotes about your 8 years in the White House.
Available at Amazon.com.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming in.